All right, quick video creation for agents. And so here's the deal, right? We're looking at this thing, and I know that a lot of your GPSs, right? We're sitting in October right now, and a lot of your goals for 2026 are around social media. And when I think about that, I think that you could have either have written a full social media plan or a sphere of influence plan, and either one of those probably has some kind of social media associated with it. And so when we think about this, I think the first thing that we need to keep in mind is that if we're going to be creating content, yes, there's the filler of just like the still post are better than nothing, right? So if you're going to go through and you're going to, post what Romy sends you, that is the bare minimum of what we should be doing. And I think that's good. Like that's a good starting point. That's better than most. And yet what we do know is if we want to seriously connect with people inside of our ecosystems, we should be putting out some video, guys, and you would be shocked with how many people are going to watch your content. Now, I want to start this off with one of the six personal perspectives, and it's commit to self mastery, right? And so, you, the agent, when you treat content creation as a skill that you can master and not a talent that you're born with, you're going to get consistent, you'll get confident, and you'll be more impactful on camera. All right. And it's going to set the tone in this class when we're going to give you the tools, the processes. And here's the deal: you're never going to be perfect. Right. I know a lot of you have just gone through your real estate exam. And did you ever feel ready to go take that exam, or did you just push yourself and you're like, all right, it's time to jump and let's go do this thing? When you got your real estate license, did you feel like you could go out and go conquer the world immediately and you would know everything? And the answer is probably no to all of those things. And so this is just like that. This is like riding a bike. This is like getting into the gym. This is like a food protocol. This is like, hey, we're going to start reading on a daily basis or a monthly basis, or insert whatever here. Anything that you have ever done, you have probably never been just naturally good at it. And the older we get, I think we realize that, right? Like when we go back through and we're like, no, that took a lot of practice. And while I may have had endurance, that endurance is definitely gone now, right? And so here's the deal: you don't need to be perfect on camera. You just have to be purposeful. And that's what we're going to talk about. So self mastery is when you decide that you are going to take on mastering yourself. And when you accept this challenge, you are going to be able to effectively lead yourself, and you're going to have success from it. All right. So that's what we're going to think about as we're going through this today. So let's talk about your first step. The first thing that I think that we should be looking at is we're going to start with tested ideas. All right. And so how do we go and we figure out like what people actually care about? Because, hey, look, we're real estate agents. And being a real estate agent does not naturally translate to I know everything or I know what people actually care about, right? I know that sellers want the most amount of money. I know that buyers want to have the best deal. And that's about the extent of my knowledge as a whole. And so when we go through and we look at this thing, we need to actually go out and figure out what people actually care about. And so here's a strategy that I think that you can use, right? We're not going to go through and guess what we need to film. We're going to test some topics. And so I don't know if anybody on here has the Threads app. All right. And so Threads app is an Instagram like feature that looks similar to X. All right. But it's Meta. So it's a Meta product, right? We got Facebook, Instagram, and Threads, and they're all under Zuckerberg's umbrella of stuff. And so when we look at this, you can treat this like an X platform to where you're just putting in your thoughts, and then it's going to send it out. So check this out. I'm going to do this a little bit backwards, because if you're in here and you're already panicking and you're like, oh my God, Charles, you want me to actually start being a short form writer and I have to go on and just see like what kind of influencer I can be, I would cheat this process. I would actually go through and I would put a prompt into ChatGPT. All right. Or Gemini, because you guys all get Gemini at no added cost through your KW Google Suite. Let's repeat that for the people in the back. At no added cost, you get Gemini. through your Google suite. You just log in through your Google account into Gemini and you get the pro version. All right. So I'm going through and I'm going to put my prompt on. I'm going to say, hey, I want you to act as a real estate influencer who is influencing through 1 to 2 sentence ideas, right? You live in Colorado and you specialize in helping buyers and sellers. And then go through and you're prompting it and you're telling it what you want it to think of. So then you're going to have this prompt and then you're going to put it in. And then, so what can we do? We create these short text messages and we just throw it through threads and we see what gains traction. And once we're seeing what gains traction, we say, okay, well, people are liking it. They're commenting it. They might be saving it. We might have created new followers. And guess what? Now we know what people care about. All right. So now we know what people care about. And you can see I took a screenshot. This is from today. And all I typed in was Zillow. All right. I was like, you know what? I could probably cheat. And let's see if I can just cheat and grab something. So here's Zillow. It says if rates hit 3% again, Zillow is going to look like Black Friday at Walmart. Bodies flying, cash buyers swinging. And I'm like, that's kind of smart and fun. And I don't know who this guy is right here, but I'm like, that was kind of entertaining. And you can go to ChatGPT and you can actually go through and create stuff just like this. More so, what you could do is you could actually go to Threads, go get a couple ideas, copy the high performing ones, and tell ChatGPT to create similar content to this. And then we'll go through and we'll see what pops up. And now we're going through and we have your practical use. It says, here's one. It's like, what does a buyer's agent actually do? People have been Googling this because of the NAR commission lawsuit, right? And so now what we're able to do is we're putting stuff in to Skynet, and Skynet is going to kick out some information for us. And then we're going to have the ability to create content after we see what people are liking and clicking on. Like, this one's pretty cool. Like, this is not what we're going to do with this, but this person's post was like, deleted the Zillow app. We're home buyers or homeowners. And they got 4,400 likes on this and a bunch of comments and some reshares and some send stuff. Like, this was pretty cool. And so, guys, what we can do right here is we can write down some messaging. So this is what I want you guys to do today. Like, this is your homework, because we're not learning for learning base. All right. Like, while I try to be entertaining and hopefully this is a fun almost hour for everybody to where it doesn't super suck, but we need to be doing these things to where we can actually go and be learning for earning's sake, right? We need to take stuff that's practical, implement it, and let's make some money, because money's good for the good that money can do. So here's your action step. Tonight, you are going to think of a couple things that you can actually post on the Threads app. All right. Use ChatGPT to go through and to create your stuff for you if you feel like you're not super creative. Go into these different platforms and go figure out, like I just typed in Zillow. You can type in home buyer, you can type in home seller, you can type in staging, you can type in for sale, you can do whatever you want. Zillow, realtor.com, CoStar, NAR commission lawsuit, right? Do whatever you want. Just figure out which one of these has hit and then feed ChatGPT or Gemini and go through and tell it, create me some content that looks similar to this. All right. So here's step number 2. Once we're going through and we have the social proof, right? We have social proof. People like this. They commented on it. They shared it. They did all. I got new followers now. Well, now we have social proof that people actually care about this kind of stuff. And so now we're going to go into ChatGPT and we're going to say, hey, give me a 45-second script. All right. I need a 45-second script. And so I did put an example just for your practical use down there, but you're going to take your top performing threads, put in the ChatGPTs, and you're going to give it the instructions, 30 to 60 seconds, who the video's for, key terms to highlight, and the AI is going to build a hook the value, and the call to action, right? So you're going to give the hook, and it's going to be something around the topic. You're going to put some value in there because that's what we have to do. We have to create value and entertain. And then what's our call to action? What do we want people to do now? All right. And this is going to help you stay focused, everyone. Like, you're not a writer. I mean, maybe you are. Maybe someone's on here like, oh, yeah, I went to school to be a writer, and now I'm a real estate agent. And so the script matches what your audience has already proven that they care about because you tested this thing. Guys, this is just like the movie theater, right? Before these movies, before these blockbusters come out, most of the time, they go through and they throw it in front of their target audience, right? They invite some people and they say, hey, is this on brand? Does this keep you entertained? Where do you think we fell short? What were the highlights? Right. And that's all we're doing now. We're not going to go out and we're not going to, be those people in the mall that go and snatch people and say, hey, we'll give you, a food voucher if you let us ask you some questions. But we're putting it out there for the world to see, and we're going to get some feedback. So I kind of went back off of my Zillow one, right? And I said, hey, give me a 45-second script around first-time home buyers starting their search on Zillow. And the call to action should lead back to me. All right, that's what I put in ChatGPT. And here's the script it gave me. It says, hey, if you're a first-time home buyer in Colorado and you've been scrolling homes on Zillow, here are your next steps so you don't waste time or miss out. First, get pre-approved. This tells you exactly what you can afford and makes sellers take you seriously. Second, understand the real numbers. When you're buying a home in Colorado, things like taxes, HOA fees, and insurance can change your monthly payment fast. Third, don't rely on what you see online. Zillow is a starting point, not the full picture. You need someone who knows Colorado real estate and the local market. And that's where I come in. I help first-time homebuyers move from browsing to actually getting the keys. If you're ready to go from Zillow to owning a home, send me a message and I'll walk you through step by step. Guys, and that's the deal, right? Like, we're going through, we know that Zillow's a term, home buying, pre-approval, Colorado real estate, my call to action. Like, you're putting this information out here and we can send it. And if you've been to any other classes recently, we talked about you need some of this stuff to actually pin to the top of your social media channels, right? We know on Instagram, we get 3 pins. This is probably going to be one of my pins, right? To where I'm going through and I have a call to action like, hey, you've probably been hunting. Now it's time to get a little more serious, and I'm here to help you. Reach out to me. So that's when we use ChatGPT to actually create the script. Well, here's the deal. I don't know if you guys have played with this, but there's a free Instagram Edits app. And so everyone should have Edits downloaded on their phone. All right, it's EDITS, it's Instagram Edits, and you should download it. And what this is going to do, because we understand that the Meta platform gets a lot of views. Well, what this does is this is a video creator, kind of like CapCut, and it actually tracks what you have done. And what's even better than this, guys, you go into the Captions app, you go onto CapCut, you go onto one of these platforms, they're going to say this is trending music for their platform. But what's neat about the Edits app is it says this is the trending music for the platform, right? We know where most of these people are is on Meta, and they're saying, hey, this is the music that's trending. These are the things that you should be doing, and it's going to give you better insight than anything else. So one of the things that we should be doing is actually just do it line by line. Just record your clips in your 5 to 10-second increments. And then we just put them all together. And we've talked about this, right? We've talked about even maybe you just change your scenery, right? To where you're going and you're doing your first 10 seconds here, your next 10 seconds there, your next 10 seconds there, and you just put it all together. And the Edits app will let you do that. You can record in the Edits app. You can put that that scrolling caption that you're reading, that script, and you can read it right off of the app and then save it and then do the next one and do the next one and do the next one. And then you can mesh them all together. And you can be at a new build, you can be on a patio, you could be on a hike and just showcasing Colorado. Guys, that's actually the hack. If you want to know what a lot of these people are doing right now to where they're going viral, is they are actually putting themselves in these different monument like locations, right? So you could actually go into the local coffee shop. Then you go into maybe you're doing it in front of, somewhere in DIA, or you're doing something in front of a house and we're just changing the scenery. And they're like, oh, yeah, that person is Colorado. They're not just sitting in an office or sitting on a couch or sitting whatever. And we can sprinkle in, hey, I'm inside of a pretty house. Plus, here's the mountains behind me. Plus, whatever. And we're getting them just the feel of Colorado and us. So we're going to do the short segments because I don't know if you guys have gone through and tried to do like a 60-second video, but sometimes it's daunting. And what ultimately happens is you trip up somewhere and you have two choices: start over or really have to go through and edit and chop stuff up. So just do the 10 seconds. So we're going to use the edits Instagram features where we can film it, we can trim it, we can assemble it all in one place. And the tools are very easy, guys. Like you literally just upload it and it makes things easy. Why? Because then you don't have to go anywhere else. It's Instagram's platform. You just send it now. So instead of trying to go your 40, 45 seconds, you're going to do your hook, right? Have you been searching on Zillow for homes, right? Then we're going to go throw our points in and then throw our call to action. All right. So the next thing is we got to add captions. Guys, you have to have captions. And I think that I'm the biggest case study for this. I don't listen to reels. I don't. I actually read them. All right. And hence here all you guys are where I'm actually downloading, like these are literally from Instagram. And I'm downloading these Instagram videos and I'm not even letting you guys listen to them. You guys have to read them with me. Right. And so we need to put captions on all of our videos. All right. The captions app will do it and the Instagram edits app. Now, I like the captions app, and that's where this is from right now. This is actually from their Instagram account. And what I like about it is just how easy it is to actually go through. It's an AI generated platform, and yet there are all kinds of different features that you can go through. Like I actually just found a different font today that I was like, this is awesome. And then I created a video and I sent out this video with these different captions on it. But most people are viewing it without sound. And I want you to think about like where you're watching your Instagram videos. And I want you to think about every time you've been in the office or inside of a meeting where next thing you know, this loud noise comes off of a phone because someone's just sitting in a meeting scrolling Instagram. And so people are constantly consuming content. Make it easy for them. Do your video and let them read it, right? And we're going to go through, and what we want to do is we can add basic captions from the edit app, right? It's super simple. And then we can go through and we can also do one without captions. And then what we can also do is when we download the one without captions, we can actually upload that back into the captions app. And now we have the same video that look completely different because we have stylized them differently. And then we can upload them into different platforms. All right. So when you guys are going through, once you finish you doing your segmenting and uploading it into your Instagram and stuff, you can post your captions, you can grab your keywords. We're doing SEO friendly descriptions. All right, we're going to talk about that here in a minute. But then your biggest thing is that you want to go through and repurpose the different versions. And I do this and I play with it in the sense to where like I'll do a LinkedIn one where it's really, really clean and it's clean font. And then I'll do an Instagram one where I'm actually throwing things up on the screen and we're doing it just differently because it's different users. Also, what you're going to see is you're going to see that on the different pieces, Google is pulling from these channels. Google, the largest search engine in the world, is pulling from all of these different search engines and they are uploading it. And then you can actually go be searchable on Google. So that brings me to this. Your step 5 is to create SEO optimized descriptions with ChatGPT. All right. So if you guys are noticing, there's a theme. We're using AI and we're using social media and some apps. Now, we get this question a lot. Like, what's the difference between SEO and AEO? And most people know what SEO is, right? Most people are like, at least I've heard of SEO. But this AEO is becoming a bigger and bigger deal. All right. So we're going to take the transcript from our captions app and we're going to put it into ChatGPT, right? We've talked about it. And we're going to ask for SEO focused description for Instagram and TikTok. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do search-based discovery for these that's going to be on both platforms. And we're going to have AEO friendly descriptions to help the post reach beyond our followers. And so what does this look like, right? When we're looking at this, your SEO is just visibility, right? It drives traffic to maybe your website. If you're going to repurpose this content and put it up, you're going to have it on these different sites. Well, AEO, this is what people are Googling. And so this is also one of the places that you can go. You could go into Google right now and just type in Arvada real estate, Westminster real estate, first time home buyer. And then what you're going to see, right? If you scroll down a little bit after you get past the sponsored post, then you'll start to see the posts that actually get a lot of eyes without paying. And then what you see is questions that are asked. That's this. All right. So people are going through and they are typing in to Google because that's what people are doing. And they are saying, hey, how do you buy a house? Where's a great place to live in Colorado? What is the best school district in Arvada? Right? They're actually Googling this stuff. And so now what we're trying to do is we're trying to do SEO based off some keywords that we want to pop up. And we are trying to answer questions for people because guess what, guys? People are going to Google and they're saying, what is the best place to live in Colorado? What is the first place that I should start when buying a home? People Google that. Now I already told you that your social media channels that are on Instagram, that are on YouTube Shorts, that are on LinkedIn, that are on TikTok, they're on all these platforms. Google's pulling them and it's putting them into their search. So now you create content that people are actually Googling. And now what happens? Your videos are showing up. You become the industry expert. And what we do know is this, guys, when people are moving into Colorado, they're searching, they're Googling. What we also know is that people pretty much find their information two different ways. They either have a trusted resource or they're using some kind of search engine, whether it's ChatGPT or they're going through and they're just on Google or Bing or DuckDuckGo or Safari or insert whatever here, right? They're going in and they're searching. This is where you can level up and you can win. So then we're writing 2 to 3 sentences for Instagram and TikTok descriptions using the keywords, right? Pre-approval, buyer tips, Colorado real estate, first-time home buyers. And you get clean search optimized descriptions that are going to help you pop up on search results. So it's no longer based off of user preference. People are actually using these platforms for searches. And this is where you guys will win. And if you don't trust me, Google it. I'm telling you, Google Denver real estate. Then at the very top there, you'll see a segment that says short videos. Guys, like go click on one of those short videos and you're going to see what people are doing. Or type in Denver real estate and scroll down. Like I said, get past the sponsor post, then the high performing post, then get past the questions. And what you're going to see is Google's now putting videos on the first page. If people are actually searching what you're putting in, Google is actually putting the videos on the top of the page. And guess what? Then you can see what people are actually looking for, and you can send it to your R&D department, and you can rip it off and duplicate. Now, don't steal it all the way through, put your own flair in, just kind of get an idea of what they're doing and run with it. So then we go through and we look at this. Your sixth step in this entire process is to repurpose for your multiple platforms. And so, guys, as we're going through social media, right, we can actually go through and we can see that there is a lot of stuff happening, right? Number of social media users, right? 500 or 5.66 billion people use social media. Okay, cool. So then we go through and we can actually look to see what this has been increasing. We can look and we can see that there's 18 hours and 36 minutes is what the weekly spent people using social media. People are using social media for 18 hours a week, everyone. That is crazy, right? Average number on social platforms used each month, 6.7, like was rounded up called 7. Social media users identified versus the total population, 69% of the population uses social media. And we are really just taking out like the elderly, children that don't have social media yet, right? And people maybe that don't have access to a phone, because I can't imagine there's many people that go through that, right? Social media users identified 18 plus. That's your population, guys. 92% are over 18 years of age. Social media users identified versus individuals using the internet. Cool. It's pretty much saying if they have the internet, they're using social media. And then you can see female social media users, male social media users. So now we know what the demographics of people that are on social media, guys. And this is from October. This is brand new information. So we're going through, we're going to post your Instagram edits version directly onto Instagram, right? Because why wouldn't we? We're going to use the captions app to get the clean, stylized stuff. We're going to download the TikTok version. We're going to throw it up into YouTube Shorts, guys. We're going to throw it on all of these different platforms because guess what? They all search and hunt differently. And you don't know where people are going to find you and going to connect with you. So you took your one idea that you've done all this research on. And what I mean by all this research is you had ChatGPT create some stuff, you threw it into a text driven platform. You saw what hunted and what got traction. And then you're like, awesome, this one, ChatGPT, give me a script now, and it builds it. And now you have different videos going out that are all from the one idea. So you create your 45-second video. Why sellers should get a pre-listing inspection. You post that Instagram edits version, Instagram, upload the captions app, throw it on TikTok, go from TikTok, put it on YouTube Shorts, and then it's going to spread and they all go differently. All right. So that's the plan. We should be doing it on Instagram. We should be doing it on TikTok. We should be doing it on YouTube Shorts. And if it's super informational, and again, not super heavy on illustrations, I put it on LinkedIn. All right, put it on LinkedIn and let it hunt from there. Now, when we go through and we just talk about why this works, right? It's not that there's a whole lot of power in the single tool, right? It's about your sequence, right? Each one's going to build on the other one. Yes, you could absolutely wake up tomorrow, go into ChatGPT, act like a real estate agent that is a big influencer in Denver, Colorado, and give me a 45-second script that is going to be SEO and AEO worthy that I can actually put on social media today, and it will do it. It absolutely will. But yet, when we're going through here, the robot can only do so much. And so if we actually turn this in, I want you to also think about what we're also doing. We're creating more content. Now we have the Threads app going out there and doing work for us as well. So now you're popping up on even more stuff, right? So Threads is going to validate if your idea is even worth recording. Because there's going to be some duds. And while I truly do believe that we should be creating lots and lots of content, there's going to be times where it just doesn't make sense. ChatGPT is then going to validate that idea and give you a script, right? Way better than we can probably create it ourselves. You're going to use the Instagram Edits app to film it and actually put it all together. You're going to stitch it all together right there. You're going to download it. Then you're also going to throw through captions, and captions is going to clean it a lot up. Guys, captions is a lot of stuff, right? I know I'm talking about the captions piece of it. Captions app, like if your eyes are wandering or if you're like reading a script or whatever, it'll actually, there's an applet in the captions app that will say, keep my eyes forward. Also, it will denoise everything. So if it's picking up some weird noise, let's say that you're at home and like it picks up the washing machine or the dryer or the dog, it will actually cancel out that noise. All right. Then we're going through and we're figuring out what our SEO description is, right? We want it to pop up on search. Then as we're going through, this just becomes a routine, right? This is that self mastery. The AI is taking out the busy work. That's all AI is doing. And this is why we talk about AI. This is why we talk about AI at nauseum inside of our brokerage, is that we truly believe that you guys want to be on social media. You want to be out there and you want to be doing all these different things, but you get stuck. And this is what becomes freeing. Now, here's the deal. You look the way that you look, you sound the way that you sound, and you need to get over it. I know there's going to be a lot of you that are going to go try this, and you're going to watch the video and you're going to say, oh my God, who is this person? It's you. It's you. And guess what? We like you anyways, right? Like you're okay. Don't watch the video. That's probably my biggest thing. That's my biggest pro tip to anyone. I create a video, I don't watch it. I am my biggest critic, and I can look through it and I can critique myself and I can have negative self-talk all day long about anything. Don't watch the video, just send it. Guess what? The people that are already your friends, that are already in your ecosystem, they like you. They want to associate with you. They trust you. And now we're going to get out to a bigger audience as well. Like, don't worry about it. And guys, I can tell you on numerous occasions, I've created these videos and not getting a whole lot of likes. Yeah, there's some views, but no one's commenting on it. Next thing I know, I am in a setting with people and they're talking to me about how they saw a video of mine. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get into emotional proximity to people, right? And we just need to take massive, massive mind share. So, right after running this process for a month, you're going to spend 1 to 2 hours making all your content. You're going to stop guessing. You're going to stop rewriting. You're stop going to waste time and tweaking every shot, right? Like you're just going to do it, and this is going to help you. So you're going to test your ideas. You're going to script with ChatGPT. You're going to film it in edits. You're going to also make a captions app version. You're going to create your SEO. You're going to repurpose it across all platforms. And this is what it looks like. Threads validates, ChatGPT scripts it. That's what happens when you hit too many buttons. Your edits is going to build it. Captions is going to refine it. And your SEO is going to be amplified. You're reaching every single week. And so, guys, this is the play. And I encourage all of you to go home, if you're not already there, go into ChatGPT after you've done a little bit of research and say, hey, create me 20, 30 ideas that resemble this, and feed it and say, this is what our goal is. This is what we're trying to do. And just push content.